Why can't it be just a dream? Sucks the love right out of me, got me begging on my knees. Why can't it be just a dream? I'd be flying and so free if it all were up to me. My mama raised me to hold my head up high within the crowd. But then I got older and I started to carry a frown. The world will grow so heavy on my conscience that I mentally drown. The people in my life, they didn't listen when they saw I was down. Why can't it be just a dream? Sucks the love right out of me, got me begging on my knees. Why can't it be just a dream? I'd be flying and so free if it all were up to me. Why can't it be just a dream? I'd close my eyes at night to see the life that I desire. When I wake up, I try to recreate what I saw. The world will grow so heavy on my conscience that I mentally drown. The people in my life, they didn't listen when they saw I was down. Why can't it be just a dream? Sucks the love right out of me, got me begging on my knees. Why can't it be just a dream? I'd be flying and so free if it all were up to me. Why can't it be just a dream? Sucks the love right out of me, got me begging on my knees. Why can't it be just a dream? I'd be flying and so free if it all were up to me. Why can't it be just a dream? A dream.
Hello. Good morning. My favorite part about the applause. Wow, I'm really like fluffy right now. My favorite part about the applause sample is that you can tell when it loops. It's the worst. It's the worst fake applause ever. Actually, it sounds pretty good, but it's just I love that you can tell that it's like press accessory. In addition, there's the fact that I'm pushing the button. Guys, it's a day right now. It's big. We got the, wow, I have like the weird 311 jam that we made a while back playing. Okay, let's rock out to it. Why not? Why not? What was the vibe? What was chat? What was the request for this one? It was a Bowl of Destiny fan request, and it was 311 meets Starset meets Julian K. You guys throw the most random stuff at me to do. Wow, we got a lot of viewers right now. By the way, for those of you guys who are random, who are new, who don't come to the channel often or haven't been here before, this is called the Bowl of Destiny, and the bowl is where fans who have been, you get like. You get points for being here. We call them Shinoda Bucks. And for the points, you can submit at the store. Somebody put the link for the store in the chat. You can exchange the points for a request of a song style, and then I mash them up. Should we pick one for next week? Oh, this is bad. This is gonna be bad. I can already tell it's gonna be bad. Next week. If next week I'm gonna do a Bowl of Destiny, and it's gonna be Okinawan Obon dance. Dimitri Photo wants to hear an Okinawan Obon dance. Meets Janoko wants to hear Papa Roach Infest style. So I'm gonna mash up Obon with Papa Roach, and then mash those up with a Saw film style, an Uncommon Time Signature, and industrial in the style of KMFDM. Fucking awesome. Wow. I mean, gosh, golly. Sorry. Some of you guys get mad at me when I curse. Keep it family friendly, Mike. All right, so we have a day. We have a day today. I got a new song that I've been hiding from you guys for a while. I've got Iann Dior, who is a superstar in the making, and Upsahl, who's even, I think, like, people know who Iann is. I mean, he had Justin Bieber on his remix of Mood, but Upsahl, fewer people know about her, and maybe if you look her up, you'll see that she's been writing for people for a while, but she is an artist and is really talented, and I just, in the making of the song, actually, we'll talk to them in a minute. So you'll find out more about the new song, Happy Endings. And if you're really, really nice, if you're really lucky, I'll world premiere the song here on the channel today. But you gotta be nice. You gotta be good. Are you behaving in the chat? Okay. Don't be rude. Carbadell says the track is such a banger. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good vibes only. That's what the emote is for. It's on the list. It's part of the channel. Don't yuck my yum. All right. What's first? Oh, you know what else we got to talk about? So on the channel, we've been talking a lot about NFTs. I know this is like drives some of you crazy because you're like, I still don't understand it. What is an NFT? Why do we care? I'm gonna make the simplest version. By the way, we're just gonna jump into it. But for you guys that don't know, NFTs, crypto tokens, they are digital pieces of art or whatever you wanna do. And people can bid on them in the form of, for example, the crypto version of a US dollar equivalent, or you can use Ethereum, or you could use, I mean, technically, I guess you could convert your Dogecoin and buy an NFT. I put out, with the release of this song, I debuted the song yesterday with a series of 10 NFTs. So the very first place the song showed up in the world was with a series of 10 video and audio, let's call them collectibles. There's a little, like, if you go on MikeShinoda.com, there's a little description of like what your rights are. Like, some people are like, if I buy the NFT, do I own the master of the song? No, like, kind of obviously not. Like, some people want to like be like opportunists and like game the system, be like, I bought the NFT, now I own your song. That's like saying I bought a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, now I can like put Mickey Mouse anywhere I want and like sell it. Like, that's just stupid. But some people are trying to be, you know, trying to scam you. I'll make it simple though. Debuted this song as 10 individual NFTs. Each one was numbered. So 1 of 10, 2 of 10. Each one, it says that in the corner. Think of it like an art print that I printed 10, and I'm not only going to print 10. Not going to print any more. Numbered them, put them up. Currently, the prices for these NFTs are all over the place. And some of you guys are gonna be, who don't know about this stuff, are gonna be really surprised at how expensive, like what people are bidding for these things. So if I go on Zora right now, so you go zora.co/Mike. If I go right now, the 10th one, for example, let's look at the price for wrapped Ethereum. So what's WETH to USD right now? So it's $1,800. So what's 4 to USD? That's $7,500 for this 10 of 10. 10 of 10. It's the number 10. If I go to a number, the other one that was really pretty high, I think it was 4 as well, or 3.5 was the one. Oh, it's 5 now. Damn. Somebody just outbid them. So that's even more. That's, what is that going to be? 9? Come on, guys. Let's do it. Oh, shoot. 5. That's why. Yeah. $9,500. So almost $10,000 for this one. Now, at the same time, there are 10 of them, right? So the middle ones currently, this one in the middle, 5 out of 10, is at 0.6. So this one they've bid, I mean, basically $900. Okay, so it's all over the place. So people are bidding between, like, let's call it like $900 and $9,000, $10,000 for these. And you're like, but wait, it's just an audio clip with a video? Yes, that to you sounds crazy. But if you're a maker, if you're a person who makes things, like Mumu is in the chat. Mumu, let's talk. Mumu the Great, where are you? Where are you? Make yourself, say hi. Guys, Mumu makes pixel art GIFs. She makes little, go to her Instagram page. They're awesome. They're so fun. Mumu, you could put them up. I mean, you have to have like some money to put them up because you can't put things up for free on these sites. But you could go and put it up and people can bid on it. And you, right now you're making GIFs for free and putting them on Twitter and Instagram. Maybe they're worth something. I don't know. Maybe they are. I think they could be. I think you could go on there and something that you are posting somewhere else for free all of a sudden is worth $1,000 and you'll be like quitting your job immediately. I mean, I don't know what Mumu does. Well, Mumu doesn't care. Mumu's like, look, Mike, like, I got a trust fund. I founded this company. Like, I make these gifts for fun. I make like $10 million a day. I don't need that. I don't need that crypto pocket change. Okay, that, I hope can we move on? I know you guys don't want to talk about crypto all morning, and all this, but the reason I say this, we'll move on. But what I'm saying is, these 10 pieces at the end of the stream, live here, I'm gonna accept the bids, and they're gonna be sold. Then it will be up to whoever, and they'll all now belong to 10 other people, collectors, whatever. I know they will be up to those people if they want to resell them. You could, if they wanted to, they could buy it for 10,000 US dollars and sell it for $1. It doesn't matter. They can do, at that point, they can do whatever they want. You've seen on those that there's a creator share of 33%. That's set by me. That's set by whoever created it. And that comes into play after the initial sale. So if I sell one of these for 10K, and then the next person who owns it sells it again for 20K, then I get 33%, or we, the artists and whoever, get 33% of that second sale. So first sale is 100%, second sale and beyond forever and ever and ever is 33%. That's how it works. If you want to look at like some of the legalese and all that, you can go to MikeShinoda.com, and there's an NFT page to understand how I expect the IP, the intellectual property, the visual and the music to be handled. So it should be pretty straightforward. Let's move on. God, we got so many people here. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention, my intention is that all of the funds go to charity. I want all the funds to go to, I should say, here's how I'll say it. All of my funds, anything that I make from the NFTs, will go to my scholarship at Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, which benefits students based on artistic merit and financial need. So it's financial need, they have to need the scholarship money, and they have to be showing merit, they have to be showing skills in the fields of graphic design and illustration, or illustration. So that's called the Michael K. Shinoda Endowed Scholarship, in case you're curious. There isn't a website or whatever, it's just at the school. Oh, but if you're a junior or senior in high school and you're interested in going to Art Center and you need a scholarship, you can inquire with them about that scholarship, and they'll give you the paperwork to apply. All my best. Good luck to you. I know we have some really sick artists here in the chat who have, like, you know, done art that I've retweeted and posted and stuff. All right, so moving on. You hear this music? This was which track? This is the Kintsuku track. By the way, also, switching subjects. For all you guys who are new to the channel, do you know that I'm producing fan tracks? Do you know I'm producing fan music? Like, I could produce your song. The chat, the regulars here, we call them the A&R me. A&R is a term for people that are the label. They're the ones who find the talent. So they're gonna find you. You make yourself known. They're gonna bring you to me. We're using the hashtag #ShinodaProduceMe. And then at that point, I sift through the stuff and then I produce my favorite stuff. So I've produced over, what, a dozen? How many artists have I produced so far this year, you guys? I did Alex McMillan. Oh, sorry. We did Chris Kelly, Alex McMillan, Cam Archer, Ben Kessler, Becco, Megan Lenius, Matt Hayfee, Judison, Dusty Stampede, Jordan Lane, Kintsuku, Wax Wayne, Sam Champagne, and just did Bella Goldwyn. That's a lot. Fuck, man. Can you imagine how many of these I'm gonna have done by the end of the year? I mean, if I keep doing it all year. I don't know. All right. Oh. Hold on. I feel like I'm getting a call from somebody. Wait a second.
Love it.
Are you saying that there was no sound just now? I'm gonna try it again. Let's see if this works. What's up, Ian?
What's up, dude?
Good.
Man,
How's it
good
going?
to see you. Thanks for joining us. I was, you know, it's like it's been so hard to get all of us together and stuff, and I'm like, was really in the back of my head. I was like, I'm a little nervous that Ian's not gonna show up.
No, I was literally just.
You're here.
I'm here.
You're here, and you've got ketchup and fries behind you.
Oh,
In
yeah,
the
yeah.
picture.
Fire.
Art piece.
Love it.
Where? Okay, so wait, Ian, where are you joining us? Where are you joining from?
I'm at Maggie's house. I think we're in like Hollywood. Yeah, we're in Hollywood.
Where are you
In-
from originally?
I'm from Puerto Rico, but I grew up most of my life in Texas.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah, where you from?
Phoenix.
Phoenix? Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Texas is crazy right now with all the snow. All my friends out here are from Austin, and they're like tripping about all
Oh
this.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's
I
fucking
heard it
insane.
snowed a lot in Dallas.
Yeah, it's like insane.
And it never snows there, right?
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, it will like occasionally, like on a good like winter, but this time it was like a lot. I think.
How long were you in Texas? Well, you were in, what is it? What part of Texas?
It's like this tiny town. It's called Corpus Christi.
I've been there.
You have
I played shows there.
at the American Bank Center.
I think so.
That's wild.
Wait,
bro.
what's the really little? Maybe we played there really like early. What's like a? What are some of the really little places?
Like House of Rock. There's Concrete Street. You guys probably did that one. That one's like a big.
That sounds kind of familiar. Maybe we did that. I don't know. Like somebody's gonna watch this back and be like, Mike doesn't even remember. It's such an important show. He did in Corpus Christi. I don't even know, but I know we've been there. I know we were there more than once.
That's wild because every time I like say I'm from there, nobody knows where it's at because it's like really small.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna remember, like somebody's gonna tell me a story about like, oh, that was the show where your RV broke down and you lost like and the gear fell over and you broke the
it'll
drums.
fit.
Like,
Yeah,
how-
it'll be something like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys done much touring? Because it's like, just because of the point in your careers that you're at and the fact that COVID has been going on for a whole year, like what, you know, I'll start with Taylor. What's the like, you know, playing on stage for you? What's that been like in your like development as an artist, and then like what you do?
I mean, like I grew up playing a lot of shows just in Phoenix where I was from, and it was like my favorite part about music was like the live shows. And then like the year before COVID, I was basically on the road for like 8-9 months out of the year, and it was like the best thing ever. And I was like, I just want to live out of a suitcase forever. And then I was on tour when COVID hit and got sent home, and like I'm fucked now. But no, it was very fun. Touring is like my favorite thing about being an artist for sure.
Ian, what about you?
I've done 2 tours. I think they were both like 3 or 4 month tours, and it was like my first headline tour. So I've fucking had a blast. I feel like I black out on stage every time. It's like the best part about being an artist is seeing your fans and just being able to feel that energy. You know what I mean? You can't really explain the energy that you have whenever you're on stage. It's just like, it's very like special. But obviously, yeah, this year, I had a whole tour canceled. I had just finished the second tour whenever Corona started. So I got to finish all the shows, but it's just, yeah, it kind of sucks that last year, obviously, like I had a 6-month tour planned out that didn't happen.
Oh my God, I know. I had so many like friends who I told people like I felt so fortunate that I didn't have like I had wrapped up my touring and I was home like kind of in this like research and development kind of like phase. So I was doing stuff on Twitch and I've been like writing with other people, and I didn't have anything canceled like that. Like I felt so bad. Like, I mean, you know, some people had like stadium tours that they were like, this is like one of the biggest tours we've ever done. And then it's like gone.
Gone. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Taylor, I saved this, like, I said we were like gonna not talk about this when we first got on the Zoom, and I was like, we're gonna talk about this when we are actually like recording it or whatever, so we can when we're on, so we can chat about how the song came about. Because what happened from my perspective, I was like writing with a couple different people, and then I got Sam Ronson texted me, and we've been like friendly for a while. Like we've been to dinner and like hung out a little bit, but nothing like, we're not like super tight. We just like hit each other up like it was like a few times a year or something, or like cross paths or whatever. And but I love her. She's great. And she had been doing stuff with her band Ocean Park Standoff, and she hit me up and was like, hey, Pete and I are now like we're like writing stuff and trying to figure out like what we're up to. Like, do you want to write? I was like, sure. That sounds like fun. That's kind of like what I'm doing too. And then out of nowhere, the same week, one of my somebody I work with was like, have you heard of this girl Upsahl? Like, she's really dope. And like, I feel like you guys would write something cool together. And then a few days later, Sam and Pete go, hey, Mike, do you know this girl Upsahl? She's like, it's like two different people who had nothing to do with each other were like, you should meet this person. And I was like, that's weird. Yeah, it was super weird. Like I always feel like that's like, there's something to that synchronicity, or like, there's something to it. And when we we wrote the song via Zoom. So weird.
So weird. But we did.
But yeah, I felt like it was really like, I mean, I immediately felt comfortable, which was, that doesn't always happen. Like we got on the Zoom and it was, what did you feel like?
Zoom is the weirdest thing ever. I feel like sessions in the first place are weird, like going in and just like talking about your feelings with strangers. I love it. But for other people, they're like, whoa, like slow down, I don't really know you. But yeah, Zoom is always super weird. But I had been working with like Pete a bunch over Zoom throughout quarantine. And I mean, obviously I'm a huge fan of you. So I was like so stoked to just like get in the room, get in the Zoom.
Yeah, get in the Zoom.
It was fucking sick though. I feel like it happened so fast. Like I feel like we just blinked and we had the hook, and like
we didn't. Yeah, that was the weird thing, is like I felt like very quickly like I knew everybody, which is that does not happen. I'm very slow to warm up to people. Like any of my close friends will tell you that. Like I'm not cold. There's a barrier. There's like, if I don't know somebody, it's like, yeah, I'm happy to talk to people and I'm social, whatever. But it stops at a point when it's like, I just don't know that person. Like, I'm not going to like just share, like intimate. I don't know. What's the weirdest thing you guys has there ever been like a weird thing that somebody came up like in the room when you're writing something, where someone was like, oh man, I want to write about this. And then they tell you like some wild story about themselves. And you're like, whoa, like I don't know you. Like, why are you sharing that with me?
I'm that person in the session. I'm the one.
Right? Yeah, me too.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's such a weird feeling though, right? Like with people that you kind of know and you're like telling them like deep dark secrets.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like I'm kind of scared to tell people some things because I don't know how confidential they'll keep my situation. Only for the session. That's about it. Oh,
that's funny, man. Are you, Ian, you're like deep in it right now. Are you wrapped on your record, or where are you at in the studio?
I'm still wrapping up because right now I'm working on 2 albums. So I'm finishing the first one off right now with Internet Money, where we're making like the same style shit that was like my first EP. My fans, they love that. And then the second album is going to be like different genres that is just me like kind of just trying to expand as an artist.
What was your first like do you have like a primary instrument, or your first like thing that you gravitated to as like a musician?
So I never, like, my parents bought me like a guitar when I was a little kid, but I never really stuck with it. I just always loved music so much, and I love the idea of like telling a story in a song. So I always wanted to try it, and it just worked out, I guess.
Do you think that like, is it it feels to me like you love a lot of different types of music, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of just like open to anything. Like if it feels good, I'll fucking hop on an African style beat and try to make it, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not too picky in like that sense, But yeah, I mean, I just love everything. Honestly, I'm not.
What's the weirdest thing? Like, what's an artist or like an album or song that you're just like you're way into that people will be like, really?
Um,
Doesn't have to be guilty pleasure. I'm looking for like, oh, okay.
I mean, I love Prince. I love,
Uh,
obviously, I love Michael Jackson. Weirdest like thing I would listen to. I'm kind of starting to like fuck with Hunter Gex, and like that's not something that I would like normally listen to, but
Sick. Yeah.
really understand what they're saying. It's just like the way it feels. It just makes me want to dance.
Yeah.
And I like
You
that.
know, you know, we did a Linkin Park remix with them like recently.
No, no, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
we just did it. It's not, I mean, it's like, it wasn't like a big campaign or whatever, but they remixed One Step Closer. And it was funny because like when I started talking to, there's a guy at Warner at our label who was like, you just celebrated like Hybrid Theory. Do you want to do some remixes like Reanimation style? And I was like, well, if we do it, like the vibe has to be like really the right vibe. Like otherwise, like why?
Mhm.
And I don't want to like just do some big like whatever pop remixes or whatever. It's something like that. It's always been about like real artistic reinterpretation, and in particular with artists who are like who make crazy decisions and have like a crazy style. And
Yeah,
Hunter Gex was like on my short list like right away. Dylan, I mean, both of Laura and Dylan are so sick, and Dylan is like he's one of the few producers out there with that I listen to that I go like I don't know how he did that. Like I don't know
yeah, man,
how he
it's
made that sound.
insane.
Yeah,
There's
so
also like these new kids that are like kind of doing something like that. It's Eric DOA and Glaive. I don't know.
yeah.
They are
Same. They always get put on the same playlist, even though they're like I feel like they're all real different.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I just like found out about their stuff recently, and I'm honestly I'm here for it. I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
oh,
What
yeah.
about you, Taylor? What's your
Ooh.
surprising?
Hunter Gex is lit. Like that's dope. I'm trying to think. Like recently I've been listening to Pink Floyd like Dark Side of the Moon just on repeat, just like during my day. And that album is fucking insane. I don't know how much it's like inspired my music recently, but like that's kind of been what's been on repeat
You know
lately.
what's really weird about that record, about a couple of their albums during that time, is how like the shape of it, like the mixing and the mastering, like the whole execution is still really modern. Like
Mhm.
if you listen to like another record from that era that and then put it up against like a pop song from today, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that old record sounds old." But the Pink Floyd stuff doesn't really like you could put it up next to a Tame Impala record from this year and it'd be like, "That actually did it get remastered? Like it sounds really good still."
That's how I feel like about Prince too. You brought up Prince and like totally it feels like still modern. It's trippy. But yeah,
Me,
Yeah.
some of the craziest drums I've ever heard in my life.
it's
I
crazy.
like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Part of that too is that people still like reference those. Like it doesn't like
All inspired by that shit.
yeah, they still go back to that and like use the same drum sounds and whatever. Same drum machines. I think I remember who I'd worked with like on when we were doing our this Linkin Park album One More Light. I worked with a bunch of different engineers and producers and beat makers who a lot of the stuff didn't make the record, but strangely like Prince came up a bunch of times in reference, like people talking about like I want the groove to have like this, or somebody would play me a demo and it was like definitely like Prince inspired and stuff like that. It's crazy how much influence he still has.
Right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
I wanted to like find out because we hadn't talked about this. I wanted to find out from you guys what the like do you have like a favorite in terms of happy endings? So like I'm first of all, I'm so happy the song is out or coming out. The I wanted to know what you guys connected to about it, and I'll give you a second to think because I wanted to start off just saying like it for me it came about so organically, like it was just like kind of got on a Zoom with friends and was like, I don't know, like, I've never written with Sam and Pete, but I know them a little bit, and then met you and felt really comfortable. And then all of a sudden, like a little while later, one of the guys from our publisher's office, who the guy is a guy I had never really met. His name's Matt. And he like I think he hit management up was like, can I talk to Mike about this song? And they were like, okay. And he's like, hey, what is this song? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just a thing we made. Like, I make a lot of things. I don't know. And he's like, well, but this one is special. This is a really good one. I'm like, is it? I feel good about it. Like, I like a lot of the things I make, but I don't know sometimes. And yeah, and he was just like, no. Like, I think this is special. Like, go, like, think more about it. Get back to me. Like, I think you guys developed this into something really cool. And that's when he brought you up. He was like, I'm friends with Ian's team. Like, you guys should meet. And I think that you know, connect on this whole thing. So what did it, on your perspective, like, what did you connect with? What did you relate to? How did it feel? Like, I don't even know, Ian, what it was like, because you had to record your stuff remotely. So
yeah, I mean, really what made me hop on it was hearing her sing on it. Like, I feel like that really tied the track together, and it just made it like, I knew it was a hit as soon as I heard it.
So sick.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, we were like, I mean, I kept saying to people, they were like, you know, in terms of like who to put on the song, because like there was a period where it was like, so should somebody else sing the hook? And I was like, I said every single time, I was like, only if they can sing it better than Taylor. Like, the subtext of that statement is probably fucking not. Right? I was like, I just like how she sounds on it. Like, I challenge somebody to sing it better, but I think she sounds the best. Thanks. And that's it stood up the whole time. Like, it totally, no matter what conversation went on, I was like, nah, her voice is the best. We didn't really try that many things, because it was like, your voice is really the one.
Nah, I'm just stoked to be, I mean, the day we wrote it, it was, I was like, oh, this is fucking sick. Got to work with Mike, like, made a banger, it's sick, whatever. And then, when I sent the demo into everyone on my team was like, holy fuck, like, this is really special. And then I was like listening to it in my car, like driving around, and I was like, oh wait, like, these melodies are kind of insane. Like, this is dope. And then, it just, I feel like we blinked and now, like, here we are. It's just like,
I know. The lyric, if I'm pretending, why not write happy endings? So that lyric was like, it just came immediately with the melody and everything. You sang it. You came up with that one, I think. And you had said, like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, this is the theme. Like, I want to go after something like this. And we wrote some of the lyrics together, but I remember you just sang that like off the top of your head. And I was like, yes, like every part of this whole song for me, like, came back to that theme. And I was like, I love, especially right now, like, the song for me feels like I wanted to put it out on like January 1st originally, because I was like, it's so like right now, like, we're stuck in this weird situation. Everybody is, and we don't like it. Right. We're like having to like compromise. And so we have to live in a little bit of a dream world, a little bit, you know, I think.
We've all gone like a little insane. That's why the, like, at least I'm the hero in my mind thing is so fire. I feel like everyone relates to that right now. It's like, well, at least in my head, I'm the shit. Maybe not on the outside.
Yeah, we all realize that, like, no, in reality, like, things are not ideal.
Yeah. In my head, it's fine. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe an understatement.
Yeah, for sure.
I never did the verses. I didn't do the verses with you guys, huh? I did them, and I did them at home by myself, and then I sent you the audio after.
It was so sick. The first time hearing you, when you're like, "Hey, Mike," I was like,
with the ending, with the "so sick of being stuck inside." That was my favorite part. I was like, when I did that line, I was like, "Oh man, this is really how I feel." Like,
I feel like that's what ties into like now, like what's going on at this moment.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you, by the way, and when I got your vocal, Ian, I was like, dude, he killed that singing part of the whole pre-chorus. So amazing. Especially like that, the hyped part at the end of the second verse. Love that.
Yeah, it was fun too, like retracking my chorus with your voice, like on it, like getting to retrack to your voice was like dope. It was really fun.
I don't even know if Ian knew you did that.
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was dope. I like tracked to match what you were doing because you like swagged it out, and I was like, I need to track.
It did have a different like bounce to it or something, didn't it?
Yeah, especially on the if on the tenant, like that. You said.
Yeah.
That's
There was
cool.
a really subtle like change in the rhythm.
Yeah.
You know what we should do though? Because I know you guys, although I'm just like, for me, this song is just like, this was dope. I want to put it out. It's not part of an album at this moment. But you guys do have like albums like on the way, or you have stuff coming. So what, at the very least, if there is something that you want to like, let the fans know about or whatever, Ian, I mean, you've got like, do you have any release dates or any things that you want to mention?
Yeah, I should have a single coming out by the end of this month. And I mean, to all my fans watching right now, just get ready for Nothing's Ever Good Enough 2. It's on the way.
So,
Sick.
Upsahl, what about you?
I mean, I dropped a song last week called Stop that I'm just gonna be making everybody stream for the next month or so. And yeah, I'm working on an album at the end of the year, but there'll be like a bunch of music.
Dude, the video is so sick.
Oh, thanks, man. What was your favorite part? I'm just
All of it. The whole video is the whole thing.
I can't even pick. It was just so good. Love it.
I put you on the spot? Who directed it?
Serena, she's a bad ass. She's dope.
Okay.
She's done some shit for like Charlie XCX, and it was our first time working together, so it was cool to work with like a dope female bad bitch director. But we filmed it in an unheated pool at night in December in LA. So
I've been there before. Yup.
dude, it's no joke. It was
fun.
not fun at all. I literally like my body was like going into shock, and they were like, "No, you have to look cute. Like you're in a pool. We're filming. Like look
You're
good." And I
shaking.
couldn't move.
Like you're dying.
Yeah.
It was
Look
incredible.
cute. I love that like artists always get these like a bad rep for like being like sensitive about that stuff. It's like, dude, there are like Navy SEALs out there getting like dumped out of a helicopter into like Arctic water, and you're complaining about like singing your song in a pool for 5 minutes. Like, toughen up.
No,
But at the
literally,
same
I was like,
time,
is this what Navy SEALs is like? Like this is
dude,
horrible.
my point, and because I've been there too, and I'm like, my point is like, look, I'm not gonna be super like annoying about it. I'm not gonna complain a lot and whatever, but I will let you know when I can't do it anymore. And I didn't sign up. I don't have the training to be a Navy SEAL. Like, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to do it. It's like, yeah, but just looking like I'm having a good time while you're throwing. At one point, we did that holy festival powder, like throwing colored chalk in each other's faces while I'm singing, and I had to keep stopping the production because I was like, I can't breathe, man. I'm not trying to be like super sensitive about this, but like I've got dirt and chalk, like colored chalk in my lungs right now. So like, give me a second, give me some water, give me a second to like recuperate. Like I gotta reset.
It's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good to talk to you guys, and I'm sure, we'll do it again soon. But I'm excited about the song, and you guys are great. And yeah. Thanks.
Shit, dude, I'm stoked this is finally coming out.
Dude, how was that transition just now? New technology, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Iann Dior and Upsahl, aka Taylor. It sounds like, based on that conversation, that you guys should hear the song. Is that something that you want to do? Do you want to hear the song? Are you sure? Should I just play it? If so, oh God, I gotta find the song. Hold on. I wasn't prepared to play it right now, but since we just watched that, I feel like we talked a bunch about like what the song is and like all that. So I feel like I have to play the song now. You ready? Okay. Hold on. Hold on, I got something special for this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of the new song, Happy Endings. Mike Shinoda, Iann Dior, Upsahl. Check it out.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right.
Dude, what just happened? It stopped. I didn't do that. I swear to God, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Thank you, iTunes. That was iTunes. It just stopped. Hold on. Oh, let me try it again. Let's go.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right. Delusional, maybe.
Yo, this whole last year was a shit show. Just finding out now what I didn't know. Seems like each time when I get low, I place blame everywhere that it shouldn't go. And that's what's keeping me up. Falling apart, man, I keep it a buck. You still act like I'm holding you up. I still feel like I'm totally nuts. So
tell me what I should have said and not pretend to know that things come out my mouth that I should probably learn to hold back. Why do I expect to have the patience that I don't have? Over and over, expecting a different result, yeah.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right. Delusional, maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Oh, still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
they're like, hey, Mike, you can't keep kicking yourself for the things you say. Like, there's some people that you could never make right. And really, do I want to sweat shit? No, I don't know why I don't let this go. Hold it inside, let it take control.
Tell me what I should have said and not pretend to know that things come out my mouth that I should probably learn to hold back. Why do I expect to have the patience that I don't have? Over and over and over and over and oh my God.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right. Delusional, maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Oh, still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
Keep telling myself to stop caring, cause they live for keeping me staring. And they'll drag it on to make me respond to get more retweets and more sharing. I don't need the manager, no caring, cause what's wrong seems so apparent. Cause I'm too alive for bad fucking vibes, and I'm so damn sick of being stuck inside. Yeah!
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right. Delusional, maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
What'd you guys think? You guys, I'm very excited! Hold on. I'm so excited about that song. You guys don't understand. So first of all, shout out to Sam Ronson and Pete Nappy on the production. It was me and Sam and Pete and Upsahl on a Zoom and wrote that thing. And Pete and I remember when we got to at the end of the first Zoom, it's like we had we had all the chords and stuff, a very different type of beat under it. And Taylor and I had written the hook and that was it. And then I was like, Pete was like, well, do you want to work on your vocal part here? How do you like to do it? And I was like, listen, I think with this track, there's a certain tone, this weird, frenetic, irreverent. It's about right now. It's about the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021. And I was just like, I just got to find the right tone for how I want to say what I want to say. And then I hung up with them. And then I started writing it right then. And the very first thing that came to mind was this whole last year was a shit show. And I was like, fine, that's where we're going with it. That's how I feel. So, yeah, that's what it ended up being. That's called Happy Endings. It comes out. Hold on. I have a little I feel like I have a little banner. Can I put this banner up while I'm streaming? Will it let me do that? Hold on. I don't know if it'll let me. Let me see if I can do it here. I'm going to try and add it while I'm streaming. I don't know if this is going to let me do it, but I'll do my best here. Let's see. New single. Let's find out. Oh, I just got very quiet. Damn, it's not going to let me do it. Okay. I'll put it up tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. I met Ian during the process. I met Taylor shortly basically as this whole thing started. And I wasn't even it was one of those songs that I was trying to, I was just playing around, just experimenting with things. Here's the thing. Oh, a lot of people, I saw a bunch of fans on Twitter and stuff being like, I hope it sounds like Fort Minor. I hope it sounds like Mike's solo record. I hope this and that. Because I'd already told you guys it's not gonna be like a Linkin Park thing or whatever. And you guys, I really appreciate all the support because there were so many people that were like, wow, give us a whole album. What the hell? And my attitude is like this, I said this before on the channel. If you guys support a thing, it helps direct me about where to go. So you guys have loved the Shinoda Produce Me stuff. I'm like, great, let's do that 2 to 3 times a week. Let's do it as often as I can, make a lot of stuff, and just we'll go. If that's what you want me to do, if that's what you want to see and check out. If you like this and you want more of this, then I need you to show us, show me, show the label, show everybody. You gotta get out there and share it. You gotta stream it, tell everybody else, and don't let up, because that's how artists know. Once I saw this thing, it's not the same thing, but it's actually funny. I saw this thing where Cardi B was talking about the lyrical content in her songs. And they're like, why do you always talk about all this nasty stuff? And she's like, well, let me explain it to you. You guys buy the nasty stuff. I've made other kinds of songs. They didn't do anything. I made these songs and everybody streamed them. So until these ones stop being popular, that's what I'm going to do. So mine is a much different version of that. My lyrical content is not the same as Cardi B, in case you haven't noticed. Maybe it should be. Actually, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try just doing WAP. Yeah. We should do that. Yeah, so the point is, thank you for supporting. Please do support. Share the song. Share the pre-save link. We put the pre-save link in the chat. share that. And any background music? It's too quiet. It's too quiet, man. It's too quiet. Should we run it again? You want to run it one more time? Really? Already? Okay, we'll run it one more time. One more time. All right, let's go. Hold on, I gotta bring it back here. See, it's like I'm a one-man production team. I don't. Let's do it. One more time.
You are now vibing with Mike Shinoda.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm
Let's
the
go!
hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right, delusional maybe.
Yo, this whole last year was a shit show. Just finding out now what I didn't know. Seems like each time when I get low, I place blame everywhere that it shouldn't go. And that's what's keeping me up. Falling apart, man, I keep it a buck. You still act like I'm holding you up. I still feel like I'm totally nuts. So
Tell me what I should have said and not pretend to know that things come out my mouth that I should probably learn to hold back. Why do I expect to have the patience that I don't have? Over and over, expecting a different result, yeah.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right, delusional maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Oh, still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
they're like, hey, Mike, you can't keep kicking yourself for the things you say. Like, there's some people that you could never make right. And really, do I want to switch it? No, I don't know why I don't let this go. Hold it inside, let it take control.
Tell me what I should have said and not pretend to know that things come out my mouth that I should probably learn to hold back. Why do I expect to have the patience that I don't have? Over and over and over and over and oh my God.
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right, delusional maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Oh, still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
Keep telling myself to stop caring, cause they live for keeping me staring. And they'll drag it on to make me respond to get more retweets and more sharing. I don't need the manager, no caring, cause what's wrong seems so apparent. Cause I'm too alive for bad fucking vibes, and I'm so damn sick of being stuck inside. Yeah!
Hey, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me. There, I hold my head high, get everything right, delusional maybe. If I'm pretending, why not write happy endings where I'm better than we both know I could be? Oh, still, at least in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm the hero that saves me.
Thank you. All right, you guys. Oh my God. All right. Haven't done that before. World premiering songs on my own Twitch channel. That's a new thing. What if this channel just turns into like the Twitch version of like a radio show? If I just do that, just interview people and play music. Only problem is that I play music and then it all get like removed when I set the when we export the VOD. Actually, we don't export anything, do we? We export to YouTube, save the VOD. So Thank you guys very much. Did we, I feel like I promised a couple things today. We need a no Karen vote. That's funny. I know I promised we're going to accept the bids on the NFTs today. So that'll happen. What else? Now do Among Us? Now we just play Among Us? Okay, great. Should we do questions? I could do, oh, you know what we could do? Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna tweet answering questions live on Twitch. Right now, okay? Post your question below. Boom. Check for my tweet right now. Instead of doing, since a lot of you guys are new visitors, instead of doing Shinoda Bucks questions, which require you to have enough points to ask a question, we're just gonna do a freebie round. I'll look on Twitter and see what we got. So, first question comes from Ashen Lee. Says, the background songs, are they from Drop Frames Trio? Most of these ones that I've been playing are actually not. It's a good question, Ashen. I stopped doing, I put out three, I look at them like mixtapes, like 3 rounds of Drop Frames releases, but I made over 100 things last year, so I decided to stop. I didn't want to fill up my entire Spotify page with just like 10 volumes of Drop Frames instrumentals. I just thought it'd be ridiculous. Lex wants to know, that's lovely, I can't see your name, Lovely Shinoda. Lex wants to know what's my favorite part about doing the streams. Favorite part? In the beginning, I just did it because it was like, I was kind of in the studio anyway, and then I really wanted that repetition and that like every morning I'm gonna do this thing during the weekdays, and then I know what's a weekday and what's a weekend. It was just like creating normalcy in a sense, because quarantine was so weird. But now I love the Produce Me stuff is my favorite thing, because I get to take like fans' work or like upstart artists who have like 1,000 followers and put them in front of everybody and produce their song and hopefully take them to the next level, right? And we have a lot of fun, right? Like the channel's crazy. The channel's so ridiculous sometimes. We have a lot of fun on the chat and in here. How did the collab come about? For FXR Music says, how did the collab come about? I think we kind of talked about that. It was just like a writing session with me and Sam and Pete and Upsahl. And shout out, by the way, shout out to the folks on my at my publishing company and record company who heard the song and were like, this song is really good, like take it seriously. Because I've been in this phase of like making so much stuff that I'm constantly just generating things. And so when you're doing that, you kind of lose track of if one's like, if I ought to pay attention to one over the other. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that I don't know when things are, when I think something is good. It's just like, I'm not focused on making more out of the one special thing. And this was a special song. And they said, please pay more attention to it. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Phoebia wants to know if we will ever see my earrings again. I haven't had earrings in a long time, Phoebia. Jackass LP wants to know if I'll play Valorant with them. That's probably, definitely, yes. Let's do it right now. Just, you know, let's play Valorant with all of you. I think that's a good. Is it weird to see like artists who are like 18 right now who are dressing like I or we did in like 98? That's so weird, huh? Some of the like Hot Topic like spike jewelry and stuff. I want to know if anyone ever says that their fashion like icon is like 2001 Linkin Park, then you gotta point that out to me. Give me a shout on whatever, Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Ulrich says, not a question, just want to say thank you for so much for everything you're doing. Love and support, thank you. Who am I referring to? Brooding Anana says, who am I referring to in lyrics in the third verse? I said, in the third verse, it's because they live for keeping me staring. They'll drag it on and make me respond and get more retweets and more sharing. I feel like that's just trolls. Like that's just, it was a moment when I was feeling like the internet, if you think back to like December of last year and how toxic, the internet's always toxic. Social media's always got toxicity in it, but like in particular, when things would ramp up around like, you know, political stuff, or like when you, I feel like certain things would happen and be trending and then everybody would just fight on Twitter and scream at each other. And I tried my best, I do my best to not follow all that stuff. But you kind of can't like avoid it sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, oh, okay, like that's just, it seeps into your feed from even people you follow who are like not horrible people. Sullen Eyes 1989 says, you've been producing and creating music for the last year. Do you miss the vocal side of being an artist? I miss your vocals. Thanks for all you do. I mean, I feel like I do vocals when I have something to say. And it's not that I never do vocals. I make some things and I'm figuring out where to go with it. It's a point in my career where it's like I have to decide what's the right next step. And like I said, like that's partially indicated by your reactions to things. So, you know, it's one thing to have 1,000 people in a chat say, I love this, like keep doing it. But I don't think that can just the 1,000 in the chat is like the core. That's like the nucleus of it. And then it has to spread out from there. Do you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm having fun and we're all having fun, we can keep doing that. And then beyond that, when it comes to like bigger steps that are going to take a lot, because like putting out an album and touring and all that like takes a lot. It's really a lot of work. And so that's the part where it's got to be really, you know, worth it. But if I could do this music all the time, we'll just do this all the time. Where's the claps? Where's the claps? You guys, I should give some shouts real quick before we continue with these. Let me just give some, I'm gonna do shout outs. Let's see how we do this. How are we gonna do this? Turn this down a little bit so I can talk over it. Because we got so many. We got so much I can't even shout you guys all out. You can see them on the screen, but we got Oh It's Me with 1,000 bits. RGB Mode, Final Masquerade, Lux Sparrow, cheering. IML, Captain, subscribe to Prime.
Smart.
Very smart. Dusty 2013 cheered. Janae, Radiating Pine subs. Thank you.
Thanks for the sub.
Lincoln Park fan Andrea, Lisa, Janodes, Final Masquerade, LVX Bomb, Jerry Online, cheered. Axisai, sub with Prime.
Smart.
Thank you. Niklas Op
Smart.
with Prime. Igor V. Diniz, sub with Prime.
Smart.
Patty the Mexican sub with Prime.
Smart.
Link Park fan Alex cheer. J. Led of the Dead subbed for 6 months, tier 1.
Thanks for the sub.
JJ Lynn cheered 100. Dust Dingo sub with Prime.
Smart.
Catherine S1 May Loves Music Hybrid Shinoda gifted. Wonder Woman Lulu gifted.
Thanks for the sub.
Springer 1985 cheered 69 bits. Karma Doll 500 bits.
Nice.
Kavitag 100 bits.
Nice.
Clever Ducky 100 bits.
Nice.
Kristalina cheered 1 bit. Donald C52 sub for 2 months with Prime.
Smart.
Thank you for subscribing with Prime. Hybrid Shinoda with 5 sub gifts.
Thanks for the sub.
Sick. Thank you guys. Don't forget, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can use that for a complimentary subscription to this channel. Just sign in with your Prime account. Let's go back to a couple of these questions, and then in a little bit here, I'm gonna finalize these NFT bids, and then I'm gonna tell you a surprise for people that are interested in NFTs. And we're gonna do a little surprise afterwards. I hope I'm getting some of you interested in it. I mean, you can't, of course, if it's like, it's pricey, but the idea of like being involved is, I think, exciting. Jen, New Divide, at New Divide. That's Jen. You've got to like having New Divide as your Twitter handle is that's a pretty dope Twitter handle. How much do you love us on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 million. That's the answer. Saw you play at the Roundhouse in London. Such an amazing night. What are your favorite memories from the UK? Dude, we've toured in the UK so many times. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is like one of the first times we went there with like, we had like a label liaison. We had this woman for the label who was like chaperoning us to like make sure that we were having a good time and knew what we were doing. And her name was Susan. I love Susan. She's the best. She's still at Warner, by the way. And Susan was like, we just kept harassing her. And at one point we showed up in her hallway with like one of our techs, like our drum tech was like I think he was like in underwear and boots, like cowboy boots or something. And we showed up at her doorstep at the hotel, and she was wearing like, she had just taken a shower, so she was wearing like a robe and like had a towel on her head. And she opens the door, and we're there with a couple of us from the band, our tech wearing like almost nothing, and our videographer with the camera on. And she's like, she opened it and she screams and slams the door. And we talked her into like going out basically with us. And the one dude continued to wear what do I feel like he was in a diaper? Like he was in like his underwear basically. We went out like that. I can't remember if there was like more of a punchline to that story. I don't think there was like anything in particular really like happened other than the fact that that was very aggressive. Oh, good. Marius MSVECHLA says bought these headphones based on my recommendation, and he loves them. That's cool. Oh, guys, we have a special guest. You ready? You're always excited for this moment, aren't you?
Hello, everybody. I can't find the folding chair, so I'm going to be like weirdly high.
Towering over me.
Yeah.
It's next to the table in there if you really want it, but this is fine. Hi, Anna
Hello,
Schneider.
everybody.
Let me turn this
Hi.
music down so we can hear you a little better.
I already delivered the coffee, by the way, today. I delivered it
Oh,
early this
I'm
morning.
drinking. Yeah, the coffee fairy is here. She delivered the coffee earlier, though.
Earlier. Yeah, much earlier. Hello, everybody.
Can you hear her okay? I know this is not like, I can kind of turn it up, but you have questions for Anna. You don't have to ask your questions on Twitter. You can just ask your questions like right here. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Anna, somebody wanted to know, when are they going to play Valorant with you?
Oh, you know,
That's a no. That's a, right now. Right after this. That's a right after
I've
this.
never played, and I kind of feel like because Mike plays and our kid plays.
Oh,
and
you're
they're
never gonna.
very
No,
good
you're
at it.
never gonna. I'm terrible at it.
Oh,
And by the way,
well, our child and his friends are very good at it.
they are actually very good at it.
Yeah.
As is expected from little kids. They're always good at it. Anna, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck?
I like the do I sing in the car.
They like your sweater.
What do I think about the new song? I love the new song. I think it's great. I'm really excited about it. Are you really excited about it, Mike Shinoda?
No. Yes, we've already covered my excitement. They love the hair.
Yeah.
Some of them haven't seen the new hair.
Side note about the sweater, I think I need to change because I really estimated the weather wrong today. This sweater is way too warm for Los Angeles winter. But hey.
Are you down with my new? You guys, what's my new producer name? Netscape Money. That's my new. Apparently, that's my new producer name.
All right.
Yep, that's my new producer name. See, that's the problem with these broadcasts and this chat is that everything is like an inside joke all the time.
Right. And I'm not inside any of your inside jokes. So, you know. Somebody asked about my book. Yes, I have been working on it. Just like an hour a day, but like it's slowly getting there. Slowly.
Yes.
Somebody said I read your book and I loved it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for reading. It's I have no driveway, 2 feet of snow.
Texas.
Yeah. By the way, how are you? How's everybody who is out in Texas doing? Is like any type of power coming back in? Anybody?
Is Anna married to Mike? Oh no, what is it like being married? Whatever.
I don't know. We've been married for a very long time.
I netscaped myself. Yes.
At this point, we've been married longer. Wait, no, but we've been together longer than we've been single, right?
Yeah, we've been together longer than we were not together.
Yeah.
That's a crazy moment in a relationship where you're like, oh, I've known this person or been with this person for longer than I was without that person.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's very cool.
They love the new picture. By the way, when I was premiering the song, this was the image that I was using for the world premiere. I just thought the energy of that face is the face of a person listening to a world premiere.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It's like, yes.
See, that's her real eyes. Like, oh God, there it is.
By the way,
that was the
gonna
gift.
That
was the gift.
Yeah.
That was the one.
My vampire face. There's another one for you. Great. So that's good. Maybe I should leave now.
You did it. You achieved. That's always the thing. Do you remember we used to say that? Like the moment you do something like that at like a photo shoot or something like that,
Right.
the photo shoot's over because
Yeah.
they've got the image they wanted.
Got it.
every cover shoot with Linkin Park ever did. The moment we did a goofy shot like that, that was the one that the photographer and the editor were like, "Yep, got it." We were like, and they're like, "Got it, that's the cover." And finally we realized, like, after it took, for some reason we're so stupid that it took years to realize, like, oh, our publicist, we can say to our publicist, "Hey, we took a really goofy shot and we don't want that to be the cover." And they'll go to the other people and make that happen.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, as a publicist, you only have so much.
Right. But they also don't want to,
things.
the publications themselves don't want to, like, burn their bridges. So it's like, yeah, the band hates that picture, and so please don't run with it. We were also, at a certain point, we were doing so many that it didn't, we couldn't catch them all. They weren't Pokemon, my friends. We couldn't. Princess Sage says, one time in 5th grade, I hid popcorn in my desk. That's a good one. Popcorn in the desk is good. We know kids, certain children, who started hiding candy in Kleenex boxes.
Like in the bottom of the Kleenex box?
They'd move the Kleenex around and stick the candy. Not just our family, other family. Our kids got the idea from other kids.
Yeah.
And they were like, what candy? I mean, the other kids got in trouble, but yeah.
I laughed, and then I actually called Mike's mom to say, like, okay, how do I parent this? Because I think it's hilarious, and very clever, but at the same time, I can't be like, it's cool. And they put it in their Kleenex box in their bed.
In the bed. By the way, the
like
Kleenex box was in the bed.
Past bedtime, after they brushed their teeth, eating candy before going to sleep. So I was just like, oh man, we've got to parent this somehow. But like, it's kind of awesome.
It's pretty funny. There's another funny similar parent moment where a kid, they all have like restrictions on their devices for things they shouldn't be watching. And one of them, when they were younger, was YouTube. You can't use the YouTube app. You can't go to YouTube on Safari, whatever. You can't watch YouTube. And at that point, our son was having a play date with his friend, and I was in the room, and the friend was like, "Oh, check out this video." And I was like, "You're watching video? Like, you don't have restrictions on YouTube?" And the kid goes, "Well, so if you go into your messages on your iPad and you search the video there, then you can text yourself the YouTube video and just watch it in messages." And I was like, "Oh no! Like, he's already hacking the system! He's already getting around the rules! Damn it!" And by the way, I'm like, that's so stupid for Apple to have not figured that out. That's so dumb. Kids are too smart.
You're too smart.
Okay.
It's good.
Anyway, enough kid talk.
Enough kid talk.
Oh, hey, the song is I was telling them, like, the song is very much about how much 2021 sucked, and 2020 sucked, and 2021 is here, and we're frustrated, and we're like, can't wait to get out of quarantine. What are some things that you're excited about doing when things go back to more of a normal state?
Okay, so one thing that we're not doing this year that I love is we're not going skiing or snowboarding. And we really thought about it, but we also feel like we're close to the finish line now, and we've made it this far. So we just decided.
Finish line meaning like vaccinations are happening, and things are gonna open up more, hopefully. And
so at this point, hopefully, all the adults in our family will be getting vaccinated sometime in the next couple months. And so, we don't want to do anything right now that would make a problem, right?
Set us back.
So that's something for next winter that I really, really can't wait to do.
What's back to normal look like for you?
I don't know, because back to normal will look like dropping the kids off at school each day, because here in LA, we've been with kids remote all the way up until now. And so like a normal day of having the weekdays feel so different from the kids being in school from the weekends, that'll be
There'll be, normal's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be like you could just go out and do whatever you want, because, like, there'll be, mutated strains and maybe of, like, other stuff. But you're still going to have to be careful. But my version of it is, like, I can go sit inside a restaurant and eat dinner with friends. Like, go have 10 people get together and go to a dinner and enjoy that, or like go to a concert or go to an art show.
Even if we're like masked going to like a concert or an art show, like that'll be awesome. I'm just really looking forward to that. And art shows that's something I've really missed, because we usually go to quite a few.
Yeah.
And so it's weird thinking that it's almost been a whole year at this point, and we haven't done any of those things that we've really loved.
Yeah.
But we've done some things.
We've done some.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's really rare.
Yeah, but we've taken advantage of, like, we went to Descanso Gardens, which if you're in the Los Angeles area, that's really nice to walk around, especially when spring comes and everything starts blooming. That'll be really nice. We did a lot of those like drive-through experiences at the holiday times, which was fun. A little bit different, but fun.
Yeah.
But like we haven't really done too much, so I'm looking forward to those types of things. What else am I looking forward to?
A wombat worldwide meeting, like a wombat convention. That'd be so weird.
I'd really love to go visit my agent and his husband and like do a writing retreat at their house. I did a small one at their house in November of 2019, and that was really great. They live like on a river, and they have like a little cabin right next to the river that you can like sit in and write, and it's amazing.
Whoa, Dimitri Photo just came with a big idea that we almost skipped over.
Oh.
Twitch convention. Like the next time there are all these conventions for things, and we totally could choose one of them and be like, okay, everybody show up at that one. That'd be pretty crazy, you guys. That'd be chaotic. A lot of these folks, you guys are like friends on here every single day and you've never met in person. That would be so insane.
It's kind of like with the LPU summits.
That's exactly, except the thing is that somebody else is setting up the infrastructure,
right?
Which we would have to do LPU summits around a show, because that sets like a certain like event that you don't have to like create an event from scratch. Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't lose that idea. TwitchCon, KenjiCon. Like the chat's going really fast.
It is going really fast. It's hard to read.
Everyone wear a onesie. Very funny. Wow. Oh my God, Mars landing today.
Yes,
Mars landing.
I'm very excited about that.
Dude, so
Very
much.
exciting.
This is such a like crazy time.
Yeah. By the way, somebody asked, how do you deal with the haters? And I think that like it's ignore the haters. That's the.
Yeah. Or write it, or make a song and complain about it in the third verse.
You can do that too, but if not.
But I didn't even call anybody out.
I think just being like, the main thing is like whatever you put energy into, and Mike's been great about helping me with this, because sometimes I get wrapped up
I don't know.
and stuff.
I do my best.
But whatever you put energy into is like, it builds, right? It makes something bigger.
Yeah.
So if you put a lot of energy into giving the people who are like hating on you attention, then that's going to like build that energy. So
yeah, you're just putting more fuel on that fire.
yeah,
really.
And you can take that like negative energy and then be like, what am I gonna do positive with it. But easier said than done, I think,
Right,
because it's really hard, especially if you have like, especially if they say something that reminds you of something that like happened to you as a kid that makes you like upset, or has happened to you as an adult that makes you upset. It just kind of like all builds. Your attention is your currency. That's right.
Yeah.
Your attention is your currency. What's up with the new book? It is coming very slowly. You are gonna do your NFT thing soon.
I do have to do it. Yeah. I have to do it.
Mike did a great job of explaining it to me. I think
It was like it's just similar to the what was going on Twitter as I was explaining it to you guys, and it was part of the reason I was on Twitter explaining it so much is I was explaining what you and I were having conversations, and like it was not just happening on Twitter, it was like happening all over the place. And so like something Anna would say would make me go, oh, I should tweet that about that, or something like Bobby and whoever else.
Yeah.
Like
that conversation that we had with Bobby was really helpful for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like the two of you breaking it down in like something that I could understand.
I've gotten 3 or 4 texts from Bobby with like a piece of information, and then he goes, does Anna believe it now? Like,
okay, here's the thing.
I was telling Anna, some Axie Infinity NFT level got sold for 1.5 million US dollars.
That's crazy.
It's
Totally wild.
Yeah.
I
don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like I grew up as like the youngest of 7 kids, and like money was really tight, and so if you bought something, it was something physical that you would have, and a lot of times money would go towards things like just getting like new clothes and stuff like that. But you could maybe like save up if you wanted to buy like a a nice art print or a poster or something, and you would save that up, and then you would have it, and it's physical, and you like.
Well, that was
put
when
it
you
in
got
your
older.
room.
You guys, nobody was
when I
thinking
got
about
older.
art. Nobody was. You guys were thinking about like
We were thinking
clothes and
about
food
clothes and food,
when
and
you were
but then
kids.
things like I would save up money for like CDs or
Yeah.
like a CD player, so that way I could have that. So
But you didn't go to concerts or anything like that until you were like in college.
in high
almost.
school, I went to some concerts with my
Yeah,
brother and my
older
sister.
brother. Your brother was a big music fan, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you also lived in the middle of nowhere. So.
Yeah. But like there weren't like everything was a tangible thing, and even going to a concert, that's still like a tangible experience. So a lot of things with like internet or like these NFTs where they exist in this other space that's not so tangible is harder for my brain to kind of process. But Mike did a really good job of explaining it in like video game terms or like
skins.
Yeah,
Or like art.
skins and-
We really landed on like art, original art and original art and limited edition prints.
Right.
That makes the most sense.
And that makes a lot of sense to me too, because I used to work at Disneyland, and I worked in their shops, Disneyana, and in the gallery, and we sold Disney art. And so, you would buy like a Carousel that would be from, it wasn't the cell actually used in the movie, but it was a cell created by artists to replicate what was used in the movie. But they would be like limited edition, and once you had it, you owned that limited edition, and they weren't going to make a copy of that cell again.
Right.
So that like made it make a little bit more sense. It's just not in something that you hang on your wall. It's something that you keep digitally.
Yeah, and there's like, people are making now like things like a frame where you can display your NFTs.
Right.
Like you can just, load them in or whatever, and it'll just play them or rotate them.
You could get one of those. What are those that frame that I got from my dad?
Yeah,
like the frame that you buy.
Skylight.
Yeah, skylight frame where you send pictures to it. I guess you could do that for like your NFTs. Oh,
cut my finger.
Do you need a Band-Aid?
I don't. Thank
Okay.
you. I don't need a Band-Aid.
Because I could get you a
Oh yes,
Band-Aid.
Anna did work at Disneyland.
Yes, I worked there for 3 years.
She worked insane hours,
I did.
and like so many hours and got so little sleep that it was almost like life threatening. Like she like got into car accidents and stuff.
I
because-
fell asleep at the wheel once. I actually didn't crash the car though, which was lucky. But
it's like, yeah, she was trying to like
I was going to college full time, and I was
paying for everything yourself.
paying for everything myself and working full time. And then I was also in a sorority. So with those things all going on at once, I really had like no sleep. I remember thinking that 4 hours of sleep was like a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And then I fell asleep at the wheel at 2:00 in the afternoon on my way home from work at Disneyland. And I realized like something's got to change because this isn't healthy.
Right.
And that's when I stopped working there. But I have like weird skills from working at Disneyland. I can repair watches because I
She
used
can
to work
repair
in
watches.
the watch shop, and I used to work in the gallery, so I have knowledge of art.
Like one of my I had like a G-Shock that that ran out of battery, and I was gonna just have it like go over and like get the battery put in a watch place, and Anna was like, oh, I can do that, and like just like took out her little toolkit and like opened it up. That's actually not that impressive because it's just a digital watch with a battery, but like she could open like a Tag Heuer and like with the right toolkit could fix it, right?
Jim Digby is texting me.
Is he watching?
I think,
on?
yeah, he's watching.
Is that why?
Hello, Jim Digby. Or at least he was watching. I don't know if he's watching right now. He made a comment about how good your studio's looking.
I mean, he has no idea. It looks awesome in here.
Yeah.
It's better I spend so much time in here.
I know. You spend a lot of time in here.
Papa Jim.
It's good.
For those of you who don't know, Jim is our he's been managing our touring production for like most of our career.
Somebody asked if I could do a Twitch stream. I'll just come in an event, like, just visit sometimes. Visiting feels
works
good.
great because there's no pressure to do whatever. For Anna, I know that based on like, it's not a good match for her personality. It's not. It's not. She'll stress too much. It's too stressful.
I get a little anxious about things.
Well, the thing is that what would happen is immediately if you were to do it, you'd have trouble with the idea of the schedule of it. And then once you started doing the stream, like leading up to the stream, you'd be nervous. And then after you did it, you'd replay every moment of it saying, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have said that a different way. I did this. I did this and I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, I'm very like, kind of more like, I made a mistake, whatever, like, I don't care. I'll move on. Can't change the fact that I screwed up. Even though I'm that way, I still, even with the stream, will do it a little bit. So if it's like affecting me, then it's definitely not it's not a good fit for her.
I mean, and I did like a podcast with Nor on grief, and that one...
One-offs are nice.
Yeah, but even with that one, like, I did it, and then afterwards I was like, oh no, like, maybe I said something wrong. I hope that it's more helpful than hurtful. And then it came out, and it turns out she says it's her most listened to podcast, and that people are like, they send her messages almost daily on how helpful it's been. So that's great, and that feels good, but I still felt like the pressure of saying things, and I hope that people know that, like, I don't just say anything. I try and research and try and really think through things.
And you're also a human being, and when you say things, it's like sometimes you might go, okay, I want to add an addendum to what I said.
Right.
Okay, let me clarify whatever.
Yeah.
I think I have this turned up too loud. It's like peaking. My other computer's like making noises.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where, like, you know. And also, sometimes I'll say something, and then, like, you learn other things, and maybe your mind changes or whatever. But once you say it in a public way, then it's out there, and people are really unforgiving.
They're
these
horrible.
days.
Well, My head is like, I'm okay.
All right, let's get back
Never
to
mind.
you.
Never
Should get
mind.
back to your day. You should get back to getting your NFTs.
I'm gonna wrap up the NFTs,
Yep.
and then we're gonna move on. They love you, and does Anna play music? Oh, Anna plays a couple instruments.
I can play the clarinet, but not well, but I can play it, and I can kind of pluck out some things in the piano, and that's about it. But I really love music.
They love goth Anna. That's what they love. All right,
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I'm gonna
Oh.
do applause.
Oh, please do.
There, that's the applause.
Okay,
They're
thank you.
clapping for you right now.
All right. Enjoy your new song. Enjoy the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Shinoda. All right, so always fun to have the real star of the show. Ooh, look at this little flowy. It's my little. What is this, like a Superman thing going on? What is that? Superman used to have a curl. One version of Superman. You guys, we're gonna wrap this up here with, I can't do it on the screen because like for privacy and whatever, but I've got my laptop in my lap here, and I'm gonna start accepting bids, basically finalizing the bids on these 10 NFTs. Here's the thing though. As I do these, I'll tell you how much. Okay, we're gonna go. Should we start with 1 or should we start with 10? Which one do we start with? 1 and go up? Okay, we'll have to do a poll. Start with 7. Oh, by the way, the reason they got minted out of order, I know that happened. It went 7, 9, 8, 10. It was because there was an error, like an upload error, which threw it off. Like 9, which one was it? Oh, 8. 8 had an issue when it uploaded, and then 9 successfully uploaded. So 8 came after 9. And with, blockchain stuff, well, especially with the Zora, the way they've set up their site, like when you mint something, it's minted. Like you can't change it. It's blockchain. Like that's part of the beauty of blockchain, is that once it's written, it's written. I can't change the title. Like if I misspelled the title, which I may have done, if I misspelled the title, it's there with a typo, period, forever. So maybe that makes it worth more. Like, like sometimes misprints are, maybe I should have done that intentionally. Like accidentally misspelled one of the things, just so like number 6 is like the special one that's like misspelled. All right, we're gonna start with 1. So, happy endings, debut, 1 of 10. The top bidder is for 5 WETH wrapped Ethereum. I am going to confirm this transfer. So 5, what's that? The gas fee here is $86. That's actually not that bad lately. 5, that was the one that's almost $10,000. What the hell? That's crazy, you guys. So that's for one of the 10. But we're about to get to some that are a lot less. So if you guys have crypto, these take a moment to the transactions to like to complete the chain. There are computers that actually have to like not authorize, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's like authorize. Yeah, so they have to like they have to complete the transaction and confirm everything, and then actually it actually takes a while because it's by design, it's a very like heavy process. Authenticate, thank you. Yeah. So I just transferred ownership of NFT number 1 to the first person. Done deal. 5. Actually, I'm gonna write these down so we can get a total. So number 1 was 5 WETH. That's wrapped Ethereum. All right, number 2. Let's see. Some of these are gonna be cheap, you guys, in terms of like compared to that. Okay, so the second one is only 1. So I'm gonna accept it. It's the highest bid from Brandon Kang Films is the bidder. We're gonna accept the bid. Brandon Kang Films made out like a bandit just now. Shout out. And that's also in wrapped Ethereum. Any of you guys like own some crypto? We have some folks in here, right? Like with some Bitcoin or some Doge. I have Doge. Lincoln Burt has Doge. BT. What do you have? You have, what's that? Is it Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin? Yeah, you got some. Are any of you guys in like some of the alternative ones? Some of the, what do you call those? The smaller coins. All right, number 2 is done. Brandon Kang made out like a bandit. 1. Got that one for 1 Ethereum. Next one is from an anonymous bidder. 2.5. Bam. So number 3 is 2.5 wrapped Ethereum. How much is 2.5 in US dollars? Cardano engine coin, sick. I have FWB and some Doge. That's about it. How much is 2.5 in Shinoda bucks? Wax Wayne says. Wax is into this, man. You watch. Wax is gonna go crazy on the NFTs. You can put a whole album out on Zora. What are we doing giving away crypto? That would be great. Can I have some? Actually, you guys know that if I got some, I mean, I've done some things for profit on Zora, and I've done some stuff for these, by the way, a reminder, this money, some portion of this money is going to go to the scholarship at Art Center. All of mine is going to go to Art Center. Because it's a song, there's a song involved. This is this series of 10. Check this out. This series of 10 is the first time a major label release affiliated with these, for example, Warner Records and Universal Music Publishing, has been put out as an NFT. When we went in to discuss this, my manager was like, they don't know what to say. Like their legal department doesn't even know what to tell you, if it's okay or not, or how to do it or whatever. They've never done it before, so there's no precedent. It's like, they are still discussing like what we call splits. So they're still figuring out like who gets what and whatever. Because with any other song, like look at it like this, like you might say, oh, okay, well, it's like selling a painting in an art gallery. The artist and the gallery split the cash, and that's how the sale works. The difference here is that the song is associated with performers and writers who all have deals So for example, I think Sam's deal is with Disney. Like, we're gonna have to figure this out, and we're going to. It's all, the thing is about like NFTs is that the transactions are all public. So there's not gonna be any point at which Warner comes to me and is like, you're lying to me about how much money that sold for. Because all they have to do is go on Zora and look at it. It's on record. It's written in the chain. So on chain, whatever. So literally the first one. Other people have done things. They were generally independent artists. So for example, Deadmau5 has done stuff. RAC has done stuff. Portugal the Man did a token that was associated with live show footage, I think. Okay, so people have done stuff, but this is the first one that is this one. This third one is taking a really long time, you guys. The bid is taking, the interaction is taking a long time. I hope that doesn't mean the person pulled out as they're like watching and they're like, no, I don't want it for 2.5. Don't do that, you jerk. Stand by your purchase. I don't know. Dude, somebody just dropped a very serious Simpsons reference. D-Stank. Wow. I didn't keep up with oh, I think they did they back out? No, I think we're good. Yeah. It happened. Okay. So that was 3 for 2.5 WETH. I've never heard somebody talk about, like, I'm always reading it. Do they say WETH? Wrapped Ethereum? Yeah, traffic's going up right now. So there's like a gas price associated with doing transactions on doing these transactions, and the gas price for the first ones was in the 80s, but now we're up to 90s. $90 just to say accept. It's expensive to donate money to charity. All right, you guys, I'm on number 4. I just accepted a bid on number 4. 1.1. I'm trying to convince all of the partners involved, including, you know, the publishers and the labels and the artists. I'm still trying to convince them to donate all of the money to the charity. I don't know if they all will. So we'll see how it goes. I know, I'm like an auctioneer. I wish I could talk as fast as the auctioneers. I always wish I could do that. All right, we're moving on. Got number 4. Let's do number 5. I think this one's the funny one. Oh no, it's not. Okay, 1.2. All right, 1.2 wrapped Ethereum. All of these bids are anonymous. I mean, they're not anonymous. We've got their wallet number, but it's they don't have names. The only one who had a name was that one. You're surprised I can't do the auctioneer thing because I can rap? I mean, I could rap moderately fast. That's not the same as those guys who are like, going once, going twice. That's a whole different kind of thing. I saw a woman auctioneer, a woman who was a female auctioneer. There we go. At this thing, and For some reason, I could understand her better than I could understand the guys. That's a weird thing, right? Maybe it's just her. Or maybe it was the fact that she's a woman. I don't know. Wouldn't that be a funny thing if just because of the tone of a woman's voice that women become better auctioneers than men? Some of them are very mumbly. Yeah. I'm the world's worst auctioneer. All right, guys, we're at, was this in 1.2? That's not bad. The average seems to be about, it seems to be over one. It's at, well, we have the one that sold for 5, so that's gonna throw off the number here, but all the rest of them, we got, the first one was for 5, second was for 1, third one was for 2.5, fourth one was for 1.1, and the fifth one is for 1.2. Blind Chick says, Michael, nice glow up with the cam. You don't look like a cookie anymore. Did I look like a cookie before? Why did I look like a cookie? What's a cookie look like? What's a cookie look like? Why am I a cookie? Greasy? You look like a cookie. How dare you? Don't you cookie me. My internet's a potato. My face is a cookie. You guys are just hungry. That's the problem. Because I'm sweet. That's why. I wish this shit wasn't so slow. I wish I could batch accept. Come on, Zora. Maybe that answers some more questions while we're doing this. What do we got? Answering your questions live. Let's see what the tweets. Oh, here we go. What's the difference between a man and a monster? Very clever. Where's our sleepy track? Dude, I put the sleepy track in the queue. I wanted that shit out before now. I wanted it out already. Didn't happen. It's not my fault. We're gonna have to do something else with it. Watch, I'm just gonna put the whole fucking thing up on Zora. Might happen. And then you guys can rip it and then just like whatever you want to do with it. Should we do that? You guys could just rip it's like an hour of audio. Right? It kind of leaked and it didn't really leak. SoundCloud. I mean,
I know, Roger can tell us.
wait a minute, on SoundCloud can you just do can you generate income per stream on SoundCloud? Because again, yeah, it's spam your Roger emotes. Because again, the idea was to put the sleepy time track, the sleeping track out in a way where when you listen to it every night, it generates money for the scholarship. SoundCloud? Is that better than other DSPs? I don't know. Hybrid Shinoda says, do you know my username means you used to be cooler back when you had earrings and red hair? Just kidding, you're still really awesome. That's mean. That's a mean thing to say. I'm just kidding. What's New Divide wants to know what's the best ice cream flavor. I prefer chocolate chip cookie dough and like pecan. Management is now texting me about the sleep track. They're now defending their position. All right, we got a buyer on 5 Happy Endings 5. Finally, Jesus. All right. Oh, dude. Here's what I don't understand. Or maybe I do understand very well. Happy Endings debut 6 of 10. So number 6. Here's the order of the bidders. Koopa Troopa bid 100 FWB. So not Ethereum. They bid 100 Friends of Benefits tokens. And then another person bid 201. And I've now got to look up the conversion of FWB. Okay, so it's about $15. Okay, so that's 3,000. So 201 FWB is worth about $3,000. Whereas the bids that came after were in Ether. So I'm gonna accept the Friends of Benefits. Huh. Okay. The bids don't go in order of the price. They go in chronological order. So you could bid 50 Ethereum and then the next person could bid $5 US and it would be at the top. So I'm gonna accept the highest thing, which at this moment is the 201 FWB. Is that, I'm not missing something, right? You just double check that FWB is currently at that price. Yeah. This site, Coinbase says it's at $18. So somewhere around 16, 17, $18 at 200 of them is about $3,000. Okay. So we're going to accept that bid. Okay, 201 FWB. Which is, we're going to say is around $3,400. Dude, we're raising money. Scholarship is going to be, we might be able to fund an extra scholarship at a certain point. Right now, it's just you give out like the way a scholarship like that works is an endowed scholarship is you put a seed of money stays in an investment account, and the interest that it generates is the scholarship. So if you put, it has to be a lot of money in the initial, let me just use a round number. So if it's $100,000 in the initial seed, if it makes 2%, that means if it makes 2% a year, then that $2,000 each year is the scholarship. So each year $2,000 comes out and the seed money stays in so that it can continue to generate it over and over and over. At least that's how I understand it. There's probably some more technical aspects to it. But that's how my scholarship works. So if I generate enough, then the decision would be offer more money to the single scholarship recipient, or start a second scholarship and do 2 students. That'd be cool. 7 out of 10. We're getting there. The highest bidder is 1.04 wrapped ether from Slava. Dude, we're lucky today. The average gas price on these is only around $90.
Well, to understand where babies come from,
US. I'm just writing this down.
all babies are derived on the basis of genetics. What?
So you guys are seeing it here today. In fact, let's even just put it on the screen so we can prove it.
Genetics.
Let's see. Put it on the screen. Today is February 18th. I want this in US dollars. the best one to use? Gas tracker? This is not accurate. All of these are all over the place. Okay, this one was confirmed. We're almost there, guys. Okay, should I go in order? Well, I'm gonna have to go in order. So that was 1.04 was the final 1.04 wrapped ether. And now we're gonna do 8. Number 8. One wrapped ether. And the gas fee was $95.94. Okay. Dude, I know this is not the most exciting thing in this moment. However, I promise you that it'll get even less exciting in a moment. It's for a great cause, and I'm the worst auctioneer ever. Why did you choose the title? Hybrid Shinoda wants to know why I chose the title. We chose the title Happy Endings. Because of the chorus, guys. Big Naz 40 wants to know, does that mean I'm working on a new album? I'm not working on a new album, no, but I have music. So does that make sense? Like I make stuff all the time. I've made some things, and if it were to be like, if this song were to do well, I could very easily see organizing some of the things that I've been making and putting it out as an album. If I did that, you guys, it sounds like you guys want more rapping. What do you guys want? What kind of album should I make if I did that? Breaking news, musician writing music. More rapping? A lot of people said more rapping. I don't like being like, I don't like making something like a thing, but I mean, you guys, I have like all the Fort Minor sound. I could just like literally make new songs with Fort Minor like drum pieces and stuff. Like, so I don't really want to do that, but it's a possibility. But I really, yeah, like I've got stuff, I can do it. But again, if I put this out and like nobody cares, then. Okay, so here we are. We're at Happy Endings number 9. One WETH. Gas price is $92.33. 1.1 for number 9. We're almost there. Rapping and singing. My favorite thing is when people are like, hey, Mike, you should do a collab with so-and-so. As if I can just like go on, just like Google them and be like, initiate collaboration sequence. Just like DM them. I'm just gonna DM, I don't know, whoever the hell. KK Slider. Collab with classical music. I'm still trying to figure out the difference between ETH and WETH. I think WETH, the last thing I watched on it had something to do with like basically upgrading, like making it more tradable. I feel like it was like a version 1 and version 1.1, 1.2 kind of situation. But I certainly don't quite understand that yet. And I have heard people talk about Ethereum 2.0 coming, which will reduce or alleviate gas prices. So right now, one of the problems with Ethereum is that it costs you money to do anything with it, like the transaction itself. And those prices can be all out of control. Like, so to post something, it costs around $200 US dollars to post something. And right now it's costing between 90 and 95 to accept these bids. It's expensive stuff. But they say that with the next version of Ethereum, it's gonna remove or reduce that. Here's what people are saying. Paul Meany, Taylor Swift, they said Travis Barker, MGK, The Weeknd, and DJ Spooky. Yeah, Probabilistic's got it. Wrapped Ethereum is an ERC20 compatible version of Ethereum. That's what I read, and I don't understand it, but okay. I don't understand why ERC20 is more like compatible or tradable than the other version, but okay. Nas and Eminem. Yeah, should I just text Nas right now and just be like, yo, you want to collab? Maybe he's down. I don't know. How do I know? So, okay. More questions from the Twitters. Oh my God, and there's one on here. Lena Shinoda wants to know if I'll collab with Sasha Sloan. Right? That's Sad Girl Sloan. Yeah, Sasha Sloan. What have you been doing that has helped you stay sane in lockdown? I think like doing creative projects helps. And also just like sometimes like being like, I know that we're supposed to do a thing. Like the kids are supposed to be on a Zoom right now and whatever, but like maybe we should like maybe we should go on a walk. Maybe we should go pick up food and go to a park. Like, doesn't happen often, but once in a while, you gotta just prioritize. I can't think of a question, but I'll be ready to add this song to my serotonin playlist immediately and listen on repeat, says Royal Head Rush on Twitter. We still gotta keep looking at the Shinoda Produce Me links, don't we? Yeah, we gotta keep bringing in more new artists for the streams. Love keeps us kind, aka Lara says, can you put the headphones down just for a second? We forgot how you look without them. Have you ever thought about the possibility of inviting one of the LP members to join and help you with a Shinoda Produce Me? That's possible. I mean, I guess, but we're not doing like in person. Nobody's doing in person stuff. I think Dave, where is Dave? Last time I talked to him, he was like in like Utah. He's definitely back by now though. It's funny because like Orange County, so just a little bit on the like in LA, the quarantine is really pretty tight, and they're starting to open up now. But in Orange County, it's much more like whatever. Like they're just more like super lax about it. So their schools, for example, they're just like in school like 5 days a week, just like whatever. Which of the 600 Daves am I referring to? Dave Farrell. Some people want to hear happy endings on vinyl. That's cool. A vinyl single? Could do that. Apple Ribe says, I want to thank you for your work every day. Your presence is important for us. Thank you. Nikki from NB Games wants me to play One Hand Clapping, which is a singing video game, which is coming to Xbox. I think that's self-promotion, but that's all right. Primo Zero says, please just let me know that There They Go is the best Fort Minor track. Oh, it's me. Says, are you nervous releasing new stuff, or do you just think whatever, if they like it, they like it? I get excited. I don't get nervous. I get excited about it though. I get excited about it. Oh, Medicine wants to know what am I reading. I posted on Twitter. I posted that I was going to be answering questions, so you can post you can reply to my tweet, and I will see it possibly. Dang, you guys, this transaction is taking a very long time. It says, we have broadcast your transaction. It will take some time to process depending on network conditions, usually 1 to 3 minutes. How many minutes has it been? Like 10 for this one? Some of these have taken 30 seconds. New Divide asks, what was your best and worst subject in school? My best subject was art. I had a funny thing. So my art teacher in high school, have I told this story before? My art teacher in high school would let us do a project, and the project was worth 100 points. But then she'd also let us do the same project more than once. So you could do the project twice and turn it in, and theoretically get 200 points out of 100. So my grade in that class was like 180% out of 100. It was like so stupid. Every project I just did 2. And I didn't even do them because I was like trying to get that high of a grade. It was just because the class was fun and it was easy and I loved art, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it. Like I finished mine already. I'll do another one.
Smart.
Indeed. I scammed the system. No, that was the system. The system was just built for... I was built for that system. And that is how my math added up on Remember the Name. Dude, this thing is still going. Fuck. What in the world? Oh, it moved. It moved. I saw something move. Oh no. It moved because somebody... I think what happened is people were bidding and changing their bids. Did the person remove their bid? Okay, we're gonna find... I think the problem was that the person removed their bid. Might be the thing. Okay, it's hung up a little bit though. but it'll get there. Because now I'm looking at it, and the highest bidder on the same one that was 1.1 a minute ago, the highest bidder right now is 1.15. So I pressed accept when it was at 1.1. We'll see what happens. I don't want to mess with it because I don't want to get screwed up. Uloa Vane wants to know, how comfortable do you feel with song?
How comfortable do you feel with song?
Indeed. What do we think that means? What do we think that means? What? I don't know what that means. Bionic Prime says, favorite Linkin Park demo? Question mark. Demo. Does that mean demo that got released, or demo that got turned into a song that was on an album, or demo that didn't, or it doesn't matter? Huh. Favorite demo that turned into a song? I mean, dude, like, there were some demos that, like, there was real merit in the actual demo that we ended up going in a different direction with the final. What was the name? Was it Primo? You guys remember that whole situation with I'll Be Gone? Primo is a good demo. And we ended up doing the song called I'll Be Gone out of it, but the demo version of Primo is pretty great. Part of me thinks that the demo was like, maybe we should go in that direction. But it was a vote. It was a, 6 guys vote, and that's what you do with it. And I'll tell you, like, typical band dynamic, like if Joe were to watch this, then he would be like, the demo was better, I told you so. That's a typical Joe response to that. He wouldn't say it in those words. He'd say it in much more snarky words. But I would agree with that. I think that Primo, the demo, was actually maybe had better bones than the thing we released. My opinion. At the time, I would have voted for the I'll Be On version, but now I think that was the other version might have been better. But I don't know. We'll never know. Gary SMHP says, I can't stop admiring the art for the song. Oh, I haven't talked about this today. Kane Kaser is a painter and an artist who I've been seeing around. It finally said, oops, we failed to broadcast a transaction. You can close this window and try again. Okay, let me reload this page just to make sure that the most recent, yeah, there it is. Oh, there we go. So now it's higher. 1.2. Boom. Let's try and accept the 1.2. Ooh, gas price just shot up to 104. Okay. The Funny Guys bid 1.2 on this. I have a feeling they're like screen sniping this auction right now. Oh, nope. They got it though. Very quick. All right, we're on the last one. Finally. 10 out of 10. Last one. This is a big one. You ready? 4 wrapped Ethereum. 101 is the gas price. I think that was the highest gas price, 104. So let's see what happens here. If this is it, this is the last one. What was I talking about? What were we just talking about? The art, Kane Kaser. So Kane's really dope. Go check him out on Instagram. Follow if you like. He Frank Maddox was like, what if we asked Kane to do it? And I was like, oh, I've heard of that guy. And we'd been thinking about a few different artists, and Frank had gone out to different people to say, are you interested? And Kane came back with like images right away. He was like, I want to do this, like check these out. And one of them was like the start of this cover image. And I was like, I loved it. I was like, that's pretty sick. Let's do that. Like, would he be down to like collaborate with me on it? And he was. So basically he started painting. He did it in the Photoshop, like did it in the computer, and then transferred that to like a physical painting and started painting that. And then I took from the pictures he sent of the physical painting, I took those and then manipulated those. So the physical painting of this thing, he actually finished and went a like slightly different direction. So the physical painting is different than the digital art that's the cover. And so he'll probably post his version, which is great, so cool. And then my version is the version that I tweaked based on his thing is the version that ended up on the cover. He's in the UK, which is the main reason why we didn't like actually physically pass it off and like do anything, because it'd be too expensive, too slow too. Because you'd have to ship a painting back and forth, and the single release was coming up too fast. So timing and money didn't make any sense. Yeah, but I'm all about that cover. I love that cover. Fun though, right? Leah X Sim CIM wanted to know what's the story behind the "come on" at the start of "Over Again," and why'd you feel it needed to go in the song? I yell. You can hear when that song starts. You can hear me like frustratedly yell "come on" into the mic from like back here. And it was because I was so frustrated. I was trying to record the song. It was very like serious. I was trying to get it done. And then there was like a car alarm going on outside that every once in a while when I try and record my part, it's like I'd be just doing it and they're like, and I like was so mad. So yeah, it was a stupid car alarm. This one is taking a long time too. These guys are they're battling it out for the end of this thing. Really, what's this person's name? Really So Tired says, how do you navigate all your plugins on Ableton? It's a mess, you guys. My plugins on Ableton are a total mess. I did like highlight, like you can categorize them in collections, and I did put the category. I added a category called Use More. I tagged them as Use More, and so yeah, some of them I'm just doing. Some of them I put in there so that I know that they're good, and I don't usually use them. Man. Okay, I have a good question for you guys. How many people are in the chat now? 2,700. Okay, good. The chat has gotten small enough that it's mostly like regulars now. Okay. So I know some of you aren't, but I didn't want to mention this. Oh, our final one went through. Okay. Let me just let you know. The final one went through for 4 wrapped ether. 4 WETH. Dope. Okay. So we're going to wrap everything up now. Everything of the day. Okay. Let me talk about the ether first. Let me talk about the NFTs first. Finish that, done. and then I'll tell you one more thing, and then we'll go. Okay. I don't know what our average price per unit per NFT was, but to wrap it up, Happy Endings number 1, 5 wrapped ether. Happy Endings number 2 was 1. Happy Endings number 3 was 2.5. 4 was 1.1 Ethereum. 5 was 1.2 wrapped Ethereum. 6 I sold for 201 Friends with Benefits tokens, which current value in USD is $3,400. Happy Ending 7 was 1.04 wrapped ether. Happy Endings number 8 was 1 wrapped ether. 9 was 1.2, and 10 was sold for 4. All of these initial sale prices go straight to me, and now I'm responsible for splitting them up among who is supposed to get paid. Okay? My portion gonna go completely to Art Center, College of Design, a scholarship there, my scholarship there, and it benefits illustration graphic design students on merit and financial need. If I can get all of the other, whoever of the other partners that agree to it, I hope more people who are involved with this process donate their money as well. We'll find out what happens. Okay. If these NFTs now belong to 10 people I don't know. I don't recognize any of their names. If they resell them, 33% of that resale will come to me /us/ the scholarship, and the rest of it gets kept by the person who sold. Does that make sense? So if you bought it for 1, you sold it for 2, then of the 2, 33% goes to us, 66% goes to you. Here's the thing. Here's the surprise. This is a little weird, and I know that it's gonna lose a lot of you, but I am going to we have made, surprise, 10 physical copies of the artwork. We printed 10. There are only 10. Kane Kaser and I are going to sign. He's already signed them. They're now shipping them to me from England. I'm going to get them and sign them. And whoever owns these 10 NFTs tomorrow will get the physical print of the artwork. So if one of you now finds, if somebody who bought one for 1 wrapped Ethereum then sells it for 10 wrapped Ethereum, then whoever buys it, that if that happens tonight, if that happens tomorrow morning, at around this, what time do we want to do it tomorrow? I gotta choose a time. Because as you can see, this whole last hour it's been me accepting bids. So I'm completely at the mercy of how long it takes to do transactions. But as of, actually tomorrow isn't transactions though. It's whoever owns it at a time. So we got to choose a time. Anna, did we choose a time already? You want to do 4 p.m. tomorrow? You want to do noon tomorrow? What should we do? It doesn't matter because I can't really call them out because they're all going to be anonymous anyway. Anna says let's do 12:30. Okay. 12:30 in the afternoon tomorrow Pacific Standard Time. Whoever owns these 10 NFTs, we're going to reach out to you, get your information. You are going to get a physical hand-signed print signed by me and Kane, who made the artwork. That's it. Not doing reproductions, I'm not signing other versions. At least not these. This version, this thing goes out to these 10 people and that's it. I reserve the right to maybe do things that print the album artwork in other ways, but no fine art prints, signed fine art prints of this artwork no other fine art print. What am I trying to say? No other signed fine art prints of this single artwork will be made. And I'm hoping that this raises even more money for the scholarship. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, it also appears, if I can switch topics on you. Am I doing that? Let me just double check this timing here. Okay. Friday, tomorrow, at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, that's my streaming time. Tomorrow, I will be live with an interview with the Needle Drop. And that is, his name's Anthony Fantano, right? So, Needle Drop tomorrow. Do you guys know anything about a little bit of the history with him and Linkin Park? So I don't know him. I've never met him. And he reviews music, and he's reviewed our stuff before. So I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. It's probably worth tuning in for. Do me a favor. What do you guys want me to ask him? Usually those things, like, they want fans to tell them what to ask the artist. But don't we think that it's a wonderful opportunity to have a conversation about, I don't know what, like what's that conversation? Yeah. He doesn't review Linkin Park stuff, and when he did review One More Light, he was not kind. I don't want to just call him, I don't want to be mean. That's not nice or helpful. What does he think about 1,000 Suns? I don't think he reviewed 1,000 Suns. Is he going to yuck our yum? No. I won't allow anybody to yuck my yum. And I won't yuck his yum either. Thing about it is we're going to keep it. Are his reviews objective? Yeah, I think they are. I think they are objective. He's a music critic. So let's start there. That's not specific to him. Like his job is to do what he's doing, right? Oh, he loved the 100 Gex one, remix? Interesting. I didn't know that. Are we going to play Among Us? Amazing. What's his taste in music? I don't think he has a thing. I know he has a thing, which is he likes cool music. So that's a thing. No music critic will ever give a good review to an album that'll make them look corny, in their opinion, or in their fans' opinion. Does that make sense? So think of the corniest thing corniest group or release you can think of. No music critic is ever going to jump in there and be like, look, I'm going to bat for this one. They'll do it in an ironic way if they do it at all, which I've seen Rolling Stone do a number of times. And it's always with things that are big enough, pop enough, that they'll endorse a pop thing in an ironic way because they know that thing's fans are an army of people that will react in a positive way. It's marketing. It's marketing. I actually like his thing, by the way, so it's not yeah. The Mars rocket's postponed? Really? Oh shit. We can't. Could we have raided NASA? Is NASA a raid that we can do? Let's find out. We can raid NASA. That's crazy. We're gonna raid NASA. Okay. So Anna, am I correct in understanding that I'm gonna be interviewing with him? I'm gonna do interview with him from 10 to 11, and then I'm gonna host him and be on his thing, and then he is gonna raid into my stream, and I'm gonna start my stream at 11, and I'll do my stream. I think I'm supposed to start. I'm supposed to start a Produce Me tomorrow, which is fun. Daniel Sherman. Okay, Daniel Sherman, What You Want is my production stream for tomorrow. Sick. Okay. Guys, it's been lovely. It's been a day. I appreciate you all. I hope you had fun. What an epic journey we all took together. We saw a 100% absolutely live interview with me and Iann Dior and Upsahl. It was so amazing how live that was happening in this moment. I world premiered the song, and then I world premiered the song for the very first time, the second time. And then we sat and waited for NFTs to exchange hands for 700 hours. And then we got ourselves prepared for a chat with the Needle Drop tomorrow, which you guys didn't really help me out. You just instigated and talked shit about him, and then didn't really suggest anything that I should talk to him about. But you did give me the information that he liked the 100 Gex remix of Linkin Park, which kind of proves my point that if it's cool, then he'll as a reviewer, he has to endorse it because it's cool, or is more likely to endorse. Ask him his teeth. That's not. Are his teeth fucked up? That's not nice. 4 minutes to landing. Okay, we got to get over to NASA. 4 minutes. Thank you guys. This applause is for you. Shout out to. I'm just gonna shout out our subs and stuff here. Who do we have? We've got Yasmina F, who gifted, Lori 14, Vlad Range, sub with Prime,
Smart,
Raiden NK, sub with Prime,
Smart,
BL720,
Smart,
is Smart, Ailstorm, sub for 3 months.
Thanks for the sub.
Messy Makeup Mommy, sub with Prime,
Smart,
Duckback subbed,
thanks for the sub.
Bruno, Angelo. I can't do it. Portuguese, I can't do. I love you, man.
Smart.
You're smart. Spider Chew, subbed. With just 1 month.
Thanks for the sub.
Cyclones X, sub with Prime.
Smart.
LP Buckeye gifted. Thank you guys. Right? All right.
You are now vibing with
We're
Mike
out of here. We're going to
Shinoda.
go raid NASA, which is crazy. They're broadcasting this on Twitch. So sick. All right. I'm going to go watch too. Thank you guys. I will see you with the Needle Drop tomorrow morning. Bye.